Life as a portfolio manager for a smaller hedge fund can be hard. While the major funds are trading with tens of billions of dollars, you may only be trading with a handful of millions. Sometimes, your most profitable strategies just aren't feasible at that scale. Luckily for you, the major hedge funds are willing to pay you $750,000 for those ideas without even hiring you. Find out why on the Coffee Run. This week's top story is the rise of freelance ideas guys working with major hedge funds. The discovery was made by JP Morgan after surveying 127 portfolio managers. It found that 14% of PMs managing $500 million or less had already shared ideas with a bigger fund, while half the PMs surveyed were considering doing the same. But why are hedge funds going this route in the first place? If their ideas are so good, why not just hire these people? For one, competition among major hedge funds is rife, and according to Citadel CEO Ken Griffin, you need to have an average return of 4% or more above the risk-free cost of capital over a consistent period to be successful. This means you have to make a lot of money with a high Sharpe ratio, i.e. to get high but non-volatile returns. Hedge funds don't want to lose 10% one year and gain 20% the next. If a PM is too niche or isn't a cultural fit either, they deem them not worth the risk. For pod shops, funds with various independent teams led by portfolio managers, this can mean cutting back on your less lucrative pods. Paloma Asset Management, a fund with over $1 billion in AUM, decided this week to halve its number of pods from 20 to 10. The logic seems to be that it's keeping its most profitable PMs and trading its most profitable strategies, which in Paloma's case involve bond and credit arbitrage. Those remaining portfolio managers have a lot of pressure on them. Dmitry Balyazny, founder of Balyazny Asset Management, said last year that the average PM manages $2 billion in gross market value, meaning that they'd need to generate $171 million per year to be a success. Even the best of portfolio managers struggle to do this, especially without the help. But if the overall pool of PMs shrinks, that means their average market value increases and the pressure only gets greater. This is where the ideas guys come in. Major funds will pay up to $10,000 per idea from smaller PMs to inform the strategies of portfolio managers trading billion-dollar books. Some of these PMs told JP Morgan that they've made up to $750,000 per year through this process. Alternatively, for centralized funds like Marshall Wace, these ideas get plugged into their monolithic central risk books, which help inform the decisions of all their traders. Hedge funds seemingly think this is a lower risk strategy than salarying that employee and hogging all that PM's ideas for themselves. When hedge funds do hire lower cost talent, it tends to be via their various graduate schemes instead. Funds like Point72 and Millennium bring in collectively hundreds of students per year, usually in auxiliary roles like as a quant researcher or as an analyst. These kids work underneath the star PMs, learn from them, and ideally go on to have equally fruitful careers. Hedge funds are less inclined to hire an aging PM or perhaps one that wants to live somewhere isolated and remote, but they may be willing to milk out the last few good trading ideas you have left. On the side of the ideas guys, there are also benefits beyond the pay. Most importantly, since you're not actually working for the hedge fund, you're not subject to the same criticism and scrutiny. Walleye CEO Will England said in 2023 that PM jobs are extremely psychologically taxing and have very high churn rates. Of course, life isn't necessarily easier in a smaller hedge fund, but it can be. As with most jobs in finance, the difference between those top PMs and these freelance ideas guys comes down to both talent and perseverance. If you've got both, hedge funds like Millennium will be willing to pay you up to $50 million a year. If you've only got the talent, I guess the $750,000 will have to do.